Welcome to Infinite Height, where the sky is not the limit. And we are here to break down one of the biggest economic shifts in North America. What started as Canada responding to US trade pressures has turned into a full throttle push for independence. With 18 major projects spanning mining, energy, and infrastructure fast-tracked, Canada isn't just adapting, it's taking the lead. Washington's playbook relied on tariffs and trade leverage to keep Canada in check. But instead, it ignited a drive for self-reliance that could disrupt global markets. The big question is the US losing its economic dominance over Canada for good? Here are the 7 seismic shifts that are transforming Canada's economic future. And number 2 is just mind-blowing. Shift. Number 7. The US trade strategy. That backfired. When the US slapped tariffs on Canadian exports, the intent was clear. Force Canada into submission and strengthen American industries. But instead of backing down, Canada hit the accelerator on reshaping its economy. For decades, Canada's economy relied heavily on exports to the US, but those tariffs served as a wake-up call. In response, British Columbia fast-tracked 18 critical infrastructure projects targeting key industries like mining, energy, and logistics. Rather than waiting for Washington to dictate terms, Canada is now rewriting the rules, investing in ports, pipelines, and alternative trade partnerships to gain economic independence. The US wanted control, but Canada is proving it can stand on its own. Before we dive in, please subscribe to support us. It is free to you but helps us a lot. Thank you. Shift. Number 6. The pipeline overhaul. Bypassing the US, Canada's oil and gas industry has long been entangled with the US, with most crude flowing south for refining. But that's changing fast. Now, east-west pipeline projects are being prioritized, ensuring that Canada's energy resources stay within its borders rather than being funneled through the US. These upgrades mean Canadian crude reaches domestic refineries and new global markets without relying on American infrastructure. But that's not all. Canada is also making major moves in renewables, expanding wind, solar, and hydroelectric energy by investing in a more diversified energy grid. Canada is future-proofing its power sector and reducing its dependence on US refineries and exports. This isn't just about energy independence. It's about positioning Canada as a major global player in the energy game. Shift number 5. The mining expansion. Canada's big power play. While oil and gas have long dominated Canada's resource sector, the future is electric and Canada knows it. With the global EV revolution in full swing, demand for critical minerals like lithium, copper, and rare earth elements is skyrocketing. China currently dominates the supply chain, but Canada is fast-tracking mining projects to shift the balance by tapping into its vast mineral reserves. Canada is not only boosting domestic production, but also setting itself up as a key global supplier for industries that rely on clean energy and advanced technology. If successful, this strategy puts Canada in the driver's seat for supplying materials the world desperately needs without being at the mercy of foreign suppliers or trade restrictions. Before we delve deeper, do us a favor and smash that like and subscribe button. This helps us reach more auto enthusiasts just like you. Now let's shift gears and steer towards our next point. Shift number 4. Ports and logistics. The silent game changer. Pipelines and mining might steal the spotlight, but Canada's ports are quietly undergoing a transformation that could change the entire trade landscape. Massive investments in shore power and expanded port capacity are reshaping how goods move in and out of the country. Sure, power technology allows cargo ships to plug into clean electricity while docked, cutting emissions and reducing operating costs. Meanwhile, major expansions at Vancouver and Prince Rupert ports are boosting trade capacity, making Canada an attractive alternative to US shipping routes. The impact: faster exports, lower costs, and reduced reliance on American transportation infrastructure, giving Canada greater control over its global trade partnerships. Shift. Number 3. Green energy. Canada's long-term power play. While traditional energy infrastructure is getting a revamp, Canada is accelerating into the renewable energy lane. Wind and solar projects are expanding rapidly, especially in rural and remote areas that crave reliable power solutions. In fact, Canada's solar energy capacity has surged by 92% over the past 5 years, with nearly 96,000 on-site solar installations nationwide. This green shift isn't just about cutting emissions, it's about economic resilience. By investing heavily in renewables, Canada is shielding itself from the roller coaster of oil price fluctuations and potential energy market upheavals, with Europe and Asia on the hunt for clean energy allies. Canada is positioning itself as a major exporter of green technology and sustainable energy solutions. No longer just an oil titan, the nation is steering toward a diversified energy economy. Moreover, the Canadian government has committed over $11 million to advance technologies in the clean and alternative fuel sectors, bolstering the country's renewable energy landscape. Shift number 2. Infrastructure overhaul. Building the new backbone. Energy and mining advancements are impressive, but they rely on a robust infrastructure foundation. Recognizing this, Canada is pouring investments into roads, railways, and digital networks. Since 2017, over $4.1 billion has been allocated to enhance the nation's transportation routes, including roads, rail, air, and marine shipping lanes to boost both domestic and international trade. A modernized transport network translates to swifter movement of goods, fewer logistical bottlenecks, and seamless access to global markets. With projections indicating infrastructure investments will surpass 300 billion CAD by 2025, Canada is laying the groundwork to become a central hub for international commerce. A standout project in this infrastructure renaissance is the Gordie Howe International Bridge, set to open in 2025. This bridge will directly link Detroit, Michigan, to Windsor, Ontario, facilitating uninterrupted freeway traffic and strengthening cross-border trade. Shift number 1. Canada's new trade strategy. Diversifying beyond the U.S. Perhaps the most transformative shift is Canada's assertive move to broaden its trade horizons. While the U.S. remains a key partner, Canada is actively seeking to reduce over-reliance on its southern neighbor. New trade agreements with Europe, Asia, and emerging markets are in the pipeline, opening fresh avenues for exports in energy, agriculture, and technology. By securing alternative markets for its natural resources, Canada is enhancing its leverage in global negotiations. This strategy ensures that the nation's economic health isn't tethered solely to decisions made in Washington. Instead, Canada is charting its own course, and the global community is taking note. For instance, Canada's first liquefied natural gas LNG project, backed by Shell, is anticipated to commence exports in 2025, targeting Asian markets and reducing dependency on U.S. trade routes. The final verdict. Is Canada steering the future of North American trade? Canada's bold maneuvers represent one of the most significant economic transformations in recent memory. By fast-tracking infrastructure projects, expanding renewable energy, modernizing mining operations, and redefining its trade policies, Canada is positioning itself as a formidable global force, no longer just a supplier to the U.S. But will this ambitious strategy pay off? Challenges abound, from shifting trade dynamics and political pushback to the monumental task of executing these projects effectively. The stakes are undeniably high. However, if successful, Canada could break free from U.S. economic dominance and emerge as a major player on the global stage. What are your thoughts? Is Canada's new direction a game changer? Or is it reaching beyond its grasp? Share your insights and experiences in the comments below. If you found this deep dive enlightening, don't forget to subscribe to Infinite Height for more expert analysis, and stay tuned for our upcoming vehicle updates and industry insights. Thank you for joining us. See you next time.